So I need to find the woman that's handing out turkeys to toothless crackheads.
Shout out.
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. Hola, caballeros. ¿Estás listo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. So today on this show, we have a very special guest.
Very special guest. Caleb, you want to introduce him
Let's do it.
since
This is my guy. I go to him for a lot of things.
mm-hmm.
He's my mechanic.
father figure, you would say.
Almost. Almost. I had my mom. My mom was a real good dad.
Okay.
Shout out. Oh, by the way, I have a gift from my mom for y'all later, but that's later on in the segment. Introducing Joe.
Woo! Joe, man. Hey, nice to have you, man. Nice to have you.
Thank you for coming, Joe.
It's a pleasure being here with you guys.
There you go.
I love the vibe.
Oh, yeah, man. You
Man.
know we here for a good time.
Man, open arms.
Yes, sir.
As
Yes,
soon as
sir.
I walked in, so yeah.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, thanks for the hospitality.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was
Go
going
ahead,
to
I got
say the same thing you were going to say.
What were you
I was going to say, tell us a bit about you, Joe.
Yeah.
Born in San Antonio, been in East Texas since I was like 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a culture shock, East Texas is, it's a planet all its own in Texas.
Right.
And so there's a lot of coming up,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know where to start. So much has happened. I'm hitting 5-0 in just a couple of months.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like,
Okay.
in 50 years, that's half a century.
That just means more experience, bro.
Man, I never thought I'd be here. I remember thinking 30 years old was old.
Right.
And then here I am at 50, and I'm just, shaking my head every day.
Don't say that, man. Give us something to look forward to, man.
Well, life is a journey. And,
Oh, yeah.
And, I've done a lot of different things as far as, work and
Mm-hmm.
relationships. And, and East Texas has always been the center of it.
Right.
And so I take those experiences, the good and the bad, and, try to move forward in a very positive way. But like with Caleb, I try to show perspective. Because the thing about life is life affords you perspective, wisdom,
Exactly.
only after you've lived for X many years.
Uh-huh.
When you're young, getting out of high school, you're ready to make some mistakes. Nobody can.
Oh, yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you get older, you're like, oh, well, hold up.
I got to slow down a
Yeah,
little bit.
just a little bit, because you start to recognize where your strengths and your weaknesses are.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then whenever you see a young gun coming up, and you're like, man, I love the enthusiasm, but
You got to keep it real. You got to slow down a little bit.
yeah, it's chess, not checkers.
Exactly.
So, but yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So no, I've done a little bit of everything. It's always been in the service industry. I like talking to people. I like the building relationship parts of getting to know people.
Right.
And so that's what I like. So it doesn't matter if I'm selling car work at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
As mechanics, I've worked for Banana Republic, Johnson and Murphy. I've used several big companies, but always out front, meeting and greeting.
Right.
And again, building relationships. And when
Well, I feel like that's where you get the most out of it, from the communication, from the interactions.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's enrichment, because the truth is, you're gonna make a certain amount of money, but you got to do what you love.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
the money doesn't always put in your heart what you need to move forward the next day. Nobody can go to work every day and take an ass whooping every day at work just to show up the next day ready for another. ass whooping.
Right. The bills are paid, but your heart ain't
Right. Exactly.
all the way there.
Right. So that's what East Texas has taught me,
Right.
was how to roll with the punches. And so it's good. Again, to give some of that wisdom whenever you see someone that might need a kind word.
Right. A helping hand.
Right. Exactly. So,
I got you. Do you still have people out in San Antonio?
Yeah. I've got 80 cousins down there.
80 cousins.
Easy 80 cousins. Hey, on one side, my dad's family was 9 brothers and 9 sisters.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they all had big families. And then on my mom's side, it was 22 brothers and sisters.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
Yeah.
breaking that's a record. Gotta be.
It's insane. But when I go down there, I'll meet cousins that I didn't even know existed. And they're all over San Antonio, from east side to west side, it's just everywhere.
Just scattered.
Yeah, just scattered. And everybody's into something different down there. So it's a good eclectic mix
Right.
of personality.
When's the last time you went down there?
Like 6 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, I go down
that
there.
was-
Yeah, I go down there. My brother's down there who I'm real close to. Our relationship has been, as we get older, a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
He was, when he was in high school, Mark was a professional boxer for a short time. My dad was a pro boxer.
What?
And I grew up in a boxing gym.
Right.
I never had that killer instinct that they did.
Right.
And my dad would say, hey, listen, if you don't develop that killer instinct, I can't put you in the ring on an elite level because you'll get killed.
Huh.
So these guys, my brother and my dad, they loved what they would call hurting people. Hurting.
Yeah.
They would go in and that's what they trained for. And so my brother and I, even though we came from the same backgrounds, we just went different directions.
Right.
I was a little bit more conservative. He was
He had the appetite to kill.
man, and I nicknamed him the Hoochie Slayer.
Why is that?
Because he slayed Hoochie.
Come on.
He did. So, and that was our younger years. I was more conservative. I was looking for a wifey.
Right. And he was out here with the hyenas.
Man, it just, he'd meet a girl, they'd get each other a little side eye. Next thing you know, they'd be out in his car or her car. And I'm like,
Just hugging each other. That's it. They just hugging.
how do you do? But again, being in a boxing gym, you're cut, your shoulders
Right.
are rounded,
You
so-
got that confidence.
Yeah, exactly. And then women love confidence. They can smell desperation a mile
Mm-hmm.
away. I'm over here trying to build a relationship, and he's like,
Yeah, man.
he's
Yeah.
getting it done. But so I go down there to visit. His name's Mark, but I call him Marky. And so I go down there to visit him and see how he's doing. He's a family man now, but it's funny to see him play that family man role.
Okay.
When you
No.
saw him like that,
Yeah, exactly. When I used to see him, just and it was, at the drop of a hat. He did 2 a.m, phone would ring, gotta go.
Right.
He's
Right.
out the door. I'm like, man, so, but
And that's what's up.
yeah.
And you said you live in Kilgore, Longview?
No, I live in Longview. I've lived in
Okay.
Longview, same little place for about 30 years now.
Right.
It's one of those deals where landed a little house just like this one. Owner finance, and so it was just. It's funny because you think it's a pit stop.
Right.
Oh, I'll be here for a little bit. I'll get something, and then you get kind of used to it.
Right.
And the next thing you know, 30 years goes by. And then you own the place. And then I'm like, well, now.
It's home. It's home now. Yeah.
So why leave? No house payment, and so, it's home.
Married?
Was married.
Was married?
Was married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids?
What, 2 kids?
Two?
2 kids. A 27-year-old.
Okay.
And she just graduated from University of Texas down in Austin. She's smart.
What's she going for? Or what did she go for?
Cognitive therapy.
Cognitive therapy.
Yeah, she works with kids that are born that have sometimes they're I would say birth defects,
Right.
but the ability to learn isn't there like it is for everyone else. And she had to learn sign language. She had to learn a lot of different skills that she didn't have or didn't possess to be able to communicate and bridge the gap.
Yeah, we actually had I don't know if you've watched any of our episodes. We had Mateo. I think Mateo does the same thing. We had a guy he's a little bit he's about Caleb's age. I think he also does the same thing, but I think he specifies in I think what is it, Down syndrome? Is it Down syndrome?
Kids on the spectrum.
Yeah, on the spectrum. Exactly, and that's what he does. So
She
kind of in
loves
that same area.
And the funny thing is that kids that are only children like she was, a lot of times they'll gravitate towards a profession where they help kids.
Really?
Yeah. So you'll have a lot of pediatricians that were only children. They were just the only ones. So when they get into adulthood, and
Why do you think that is?
I think because they crave siblings, they don't have them.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Just wanting,
Wanting a brother and a sister,
or maybe just wanting to be around
Care
it,
for another.
just to kind of be around that.
because you'll have relationships, and your relationships with your brother, your sisters are very different from any other relationship.
Oh
you
yeah,
have.
oh yeah, most definitely.
And I think only children, they know it's missing. They don't know what it is about
Right.
it that's missing, but they know something's missing. So as adults going back to work with kids, I think that fulfills them, or fulfills that.
Right.
that
Would you say it's a little bit harder for them to, I guess, work with like other people? Just I guess just a general area of being able to work with people since they don't understand that type of bond.
I would think so.
You think so?
Our childhood prepares us for our adult life.
Right.
So whether we want to believe it or not, we're programmed. We go through things, and on the playground,
Exactly.
that's going to prepare us for life.
What? Okay. Well, let me ask you this: did y'all have her in sports growing up, or anything just around other kids, like outside of school?
No, she was what we would call, or what I would call, an indoor kid.
Right. Okay. So would you say that possibly would have made a difference if she was? Because well, we grew up, playing soccer, playing sports, right?
Right.
And you build pretty strong relationships playing sports.
With your
Would you say
teammates.
that would have helped a little bit in her case? Maybe building a little better relationship with, a teammate. Growing up with something outside of, like, I guess in a child sense, work. School.
Right.
Would you say that would have made a little bit of difference?
With her, I think it's personality.
Right.
She was a driven child from the get.
Okay.
Always learning. She picked up reading books at an early age, and I remember coming home from work and nose in a book.
Really?
And I'd be like, "Hey, how's the book?" She'd be 5, 6, 7 years old. And
What?
Yeah, she when that last Harry Potter book came out, it was 1,000 pages, and she read it in one day.
How? No way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes. I didn't believe it. She read it in one day. Yeah, 1,000 pages.
Her reading speed got to be.
Oh yeah, she's just like this, and then flip the page, and then like this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How old was she?
She was probably early 20s, late teens.
Oh, then maybe then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and see, and then in high school, she tested into a program. She wanted to be a pediatrician.
Right.
So she tested into a program where half a day in high school, there was 2 people that actually succeeded with the testing, and they would bus them over to St. Philip's College, where they were taking pre-med classes in high school.
Really?
So she was in college taking college courses with other college kids, and then she said that the other college kids were like, "Are you guys really in high school?"
Right.
But she was accelerated. So again, it's conditioning. At the boxing gym, I would see 5, 6, 7-year-olds cut up, look like they belong to
That
the
discipline.
Well, a lot of it is genetics too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it depends on where the drive is at, and God-given talent. Her happened to be academics.
Okay, now let me ask you this: would you say you and your wife were I guess, did she see it from you guys? Was your wife pretty well driven at the time? I guess you could say your ex-wife, or
My ex-wife, no, and that's fine because we have a really good relationship.
Okay.
We can touch on that later, but my ex-wife manages my money today.
Really?
Yeah, so my yeah.
Man, you don't see too much of that, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
nowadays it's like
They want to take it.
Yeah, exactly. Your ex-wife gonna be your demise.
Yeah, no, my ex-wife splits up my money, pays my bills, and says, "You've got this much money to spend," because she knows.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's relationship.
Yeah.
It's building relationships and being able to maintain them and not burning bridges.
Exactly.
And then with Gabby, that's my
Your daughter?
name. Yeah, and Gabby. Again, she was driven just like her mom, and her mom was very structured. Me, all day long, I'm shooting from the hip.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then she has that. I guess boys tend to lean towards the dad a little bit, and girls tend to lean towards their mom. And I guess seeing that that discipline and structure, and she kind of picked up on that a lot.
What's funny is I'd come home from work and I'd find these little notes where she had a list of things that she had to do.
How old was she?
6.
No
7 years
way,
old. Yeah,
bro.
6, 7
No
years old.
way.
Yeah.
At 6 years old, I was
Yeah.
picking my nose, eating my boogers.
So no, she was doing these, and I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this. 'Cause-
That's way past cute. That's like
her
amazing.
Her mom would make lists, so it's her.
Yeah,
seeing
she
her
would see
mother.
it. She would see it.
and then
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, and I say, you know what? I feel like you could give me your input on this, but I feel like nowadays it's a lot. You're not gonna see a lot of that. It's just give them the cell phone and let now I can do what I can do or what I'm gonna do, and now my kid, she's gonna be distracted. She's not gonna bother me no more. Right. A lot of selfishness.
Right. You see, and so watching her, because I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, look, she's making lists, and it's something that I needed to do, hell, even today. I would be better prepared for life if I made a list every day and checked off, because that list making represents several things. It also represents that you made a list, you got it done, so those are small accomplishments.
Exactly.
That lead to larger accomplishments. Same thing with like building the car that we talked about earlier. And so when I saw her progress from a first grader to a senior in high school to a senior in college,
right?
Guess what? She was still making lists.
Oh yeah, that helps.
And
I think there's a study. I think I read a study on that. Like 8 out of 10 millionaires and billionaires all have that same trait. They all make lists, and I think it's like 7 out of 10 all go to the gym. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of in the same area.
Yeah, there's several things that they employ in their daily lives to make them better.
Right,
And that's
exactly.
one of those things. And so,
exactly.
Yeah, Gabby does it. Her mom does it, and now at 50, and I'm going to keep bringing 50. It's
an important number.
It's an important number. But I look back and I'm thinking, like, where would I be if I was making lists? How
Exactly.
much further in life?
Yeah, and let me expand from that. Let me ask you a question. If you could give your younger, say your 20-year-old you, right? If you could go back, whose phone is that? Okay. If you could go back and give your 20-year-old self, I'll say 18, right out of high school, one piece of advice, what would that be? And it can be in any general area. Just fix my credit score or anything.
It would be back to the relationship building. That has been by far the best tool I have in my tool.
Really?
That has been, because I've always been a people person, going all the way back to 9-10 years old.
Right.
This is a funny story that I told recently, and I almost had forgotten about it. In the back of the old comics that we used to get, this is in the 80s.
Right.
There was a make extra money selling shoes. So I sent off, I don't know if it was $1 or something. So next thing you know, I get this shoe selling kit in the mail.
So you ordered it.
I ordered it. I'm 10 years old. And so what I did was I put on my church clothes, and we're talking about I was a fire hazard, because back then polyester everything.
Oh boy, you were looking slick.
Man, clip on top, like a butterfly collar.
Right.
I look like I stepped out of a Brady Bunch episode.
Come on.
And so then I get on my bike with this shoe selling kit, and I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna make so much money.
Right.
And Longview is funny again because of the close proximity of everything.
Right.
We lived in the hood. But then you go over 2 or 3 blocks, and then you got these massive homes.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I'm not selling shoes in my hood.
Well, yeah.
I'm going over there.
I might get the best bang for my buck over here.
So I go over there. I'm 10 years old. And I'm knocking on doors, and I got this polyester blazer on. I look like a 40-year-old used car salesman.
Right.
Little bitty bell bottoms with hush puppies, and I walk up to the door, and I knock on that door, and the lady comes, and she looks at me, and she's kind of looking around. Like,
Right. Who is this kid? He's lost.
Well, yeah, and so I put that book in front of her, big old thick book, and I was like, hey, I'm here to sell you some shoes. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm here to sell some shoes.
Right.
She goes, so how does this work? I said, well, you pick out a pair of shoes in the book, give me your size, and then, I'll order
I'll order it. Yeah.
Come down. And, and so it's like, we're talking
sketchy,
about,
but...
Yeah. And so they would invite me into their homes, and they'd sit me down, and then they'd call their friends And the neighbors would come
Really?
over. Yeah. And then it was a spectacle is what it was. And I didn't realize I was put on a stage.
Right.
I'm sitting here trying to sell some shoes.
Exactly.
Because I need some money.
Yeah.
But to them, they thought it was cute. I think at my age and their age, they recognized there was a drive.
Exactly. That hustle heart.
Exactly. And I'm at 10 years old, and guess what? I only sold one pair of shoes, and it was to an aunt of mine. But that whole time, I got cookies, I got milk.
Really?
They were feeding me.
So they invited you to their home, invited other people to see what you were doing, and they still didn't buy a pair of shoes from you?
No,
That's cold-blooded.
Yeah, they were.
That's cold-blooded.
I don't know. They're a good host.
That's a good host. That's a good host. But that's not what I was there for. I was there to make some money.
I hate to tell you, I ride my bike a couple blocks. I'm dripping sweat. I walk in and I get cookies and milk. And I don't sell nothing. Hey, I made some friends.
I mean, yeah.
Miss Susan,
I guess so.
I'm back again.
But what that did was it helped me understand approaching strangers.
Right.
And breaking the ice and then being able to start a conversation with somebody I don't know anything about.
Exactly.
I may not have anything in common with them, but here we're having a conversation. It's 2 people going back and forth. Now, sometimes you could be selling Chinese encyclopedias.
Right.
But if the game is good, they're buying.
Exactly.
You know? So they're like, man, you know what? I can't not buy. Go ahead and give me 2. You know?
Just knowing how to talk to somebody.
Exactly.
I feel like that's a skill most people need. And I feel like that skill is diminishing, to be honest.
With cell
Yep.
phones.
There you go.
With
There
cell
you go.
Yeah.
You text everybody. It's easy not to, not to have that one-on-one, just texting. But once we get, face to face, it's a whole different
Everyone's
ballgame.
choking up.
So it is so important. The CIA has books out on the subject. When a CIA approaches someone that they want to flip or turn in another country, they use a tactic called mirroring. And so what they do is they'll study the subject and they'll put a handler on that subject that's similar. Their body language is similar.
Okay.
They will adjust.
I'm sorry. By subject, you mean the guy they're trying to
Flip.
apprehend.
Right. Well, no, flip to get them
To get them
information.
Right.
Information.
Okay.
So what they'll do is they will adjust their cadence, how they talk, the caliber of English they may be speaking.
Really?
And then they'll omit big words and they'll come down to their level so that the person of
the
interest,
the comfortability.
Exactly, or even just a little less so that the person doesn't feel threatened.
Exactly.
Now you read those books not because you're working for the CIA or you're flipping somebody, but if you're in sales, the last thing you want to do is scare off a customer or turn off a customer. So what you do is you let the customer think that they have the upper hand, and then that they drop their guard.
That psychology coming in. That
Exactly.
psychology.
You're all but in reverse.
Yeah.
But so then that helps. But all of these skills acquired took a lifetime to understand their value.
Exactly.
When I was in my 20s, I could at a bus stop, I could just start talking to somebody, but I didn't understand that, hey, this is a valuable skill that not very many people possess.
Yep.
And then in my 30s and 40s, I was like, well, I got something here. And then approaching 50, I'm like, I need to polish this up. Now, if I was back in my 20s, that's what I would tell myself.
Right.
Because work ethic has always been there. I always work hard. I've always worked 2 to 3 jobs.
Right.
Always. But had I had the confidence in myself and how to express myself, and working on the vocabulary, you could have a very, very strong vocabulary, be dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah.
But if your vocabulary is strong, it gives the impression of intelligence.
Right.
And so those are all tricks. And I don't want to say tricks and cheapen it, but those are all things that we all can work on and take into our daily
Exactly.
life. The thing is, and I'm talking about sales, and we're selling cars, or we're selling
and expanding off of that, I talked to some guy that he was telling me he was, just by the way he would talk to his customers, he was working at mattress firm and he was making over 6 figures selling mattresses.
Right.
And that's what he told me. He was like, it's all about how you sell. It's the skill in the sale.
Right. I was in Hawaii at Bali. I was in there buying shoes.
Okay. Vacation?
Yeah. I was there for a month that time. But I was there and I had found some shoes. Bally shoes on sale for $1,200.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
1,200.
on sale for $1,200.
Shit.
Now that's the pair I'm going to be buried in.
yeah.
But I'm there, and the salesperson is speaking English. He's speaking Japanese.
Whoa.
He's speaking Italian. And
Now-
I mean, and he's flipping from one customer to another customer. And then I'm thinking, okay, so he's on a whole nother.
Yeah, he on a level.
Yeah, here I'm thinking like I'm doing good, and then he's in the major leagues.
Yeah,
I'm in the
his
minor league.
communication on top tier.
Right, exactly. So, and again, going with the communication, we use it every day. So if we can communicate better, not only with our customers and clients,
Right.
but think about our families.
Yep.
Think about
Yep.
our loved ones. You know, you have the ability to say things and to express yourself in ways that makes them feel
Exactly.
better about themselves.
Exactly. And then, if you don't mind me asking, what ethnicity are you? A Mexican?
My dad's Italian. My mom's Mexican.
Your dad's Italian.
Shit.
Full Italian?
Yeah. My
That's
dad's
cool.
Italian. Yeah, my dad's Italian.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, kind of speaking off of that, so in Hispanic households, everything's bottled in. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it would help a lot if the communication were a little bit better in that, in that area, and you were able to talk, to your people and just communicate a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly right. I've been called out. Last time was about 3-4 months ago. It was 1 in the morning.
Right.
A friend said, "Hey man, can you come talk to my dad?" And I was like, "What's up?" And I only met his dad in passing a few times. And so what's up? He's like, "Well, he's been drinking and some shit happened.
Right.
And he's kind of aggressive." And I was like, okay, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So I zip over there and I walk in and he's shirtless and he's crying and you can see him sitting there and he's drunk because he's sitting there swaying and I didn't know what had happened in that. I didn't know the police had been there. I didn't know that his other son had to tackle him to the ground and knock a knife out of his hand. And then I'm like, and then my buddy called me up. Yeah, man, I need you to come over here.
He didn't give you no information.
Nothing. I didn't know what I was walking into. And so I walk in and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh man, it's just, and he was stumbling a little bit. Of course, he was, a little drunk.
Right.
But basically exactly what you said. He had a lot of frustrations.
Didn't know how to unleash them.
Right. No outlet.
Exactly.
Because it's prevalent in our culture that the man bears all
The
of
man has no problems.
Yep, he bears all the stress, and if he shows cracks in his armor,
He weak.
Weakness.
He's a weak man.
So he's got to keep it up, and so it was one of those days when he had one too many,
And it just blew up.
it came down, and
Top came off.
Yeah, next thing you know, he's a danger to himself and to his family.
Ah, man,
So-
you hate
so-
to see it.
Right, I go in, and all he needed was like, man, what's going on? Tell me what's on your mind. And he just dumped on me.
Just needed to air out.
Dumped on me, and I'm sitting there. Yeah, no, I completely understand. Yeah, and he said, I came to this country. I ate beans and rice so that my family could have more.
Right.
And the more they got, the more they wanted.
Yep,
Which means
yep.
the more they got,
The more
they
stressed
wanted.
I was, yeah.
He goes, and I'm still on beans and rice. He goes, and these kids are eating steaks at Texas Roadhouse. Come on.
Oh, man.
And so then,
And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true, though. It happens. And it'll break you, for sure.
right. And again, it goes back to now. Had they had communication,
Yep.
if he was able to express how he felt, it wouldn't bottle up and wait till it
Yep.
exploded.
But then, see, now you opening up a whole different can. If he were to open up like that, now in this time, as far as he is into his relationship, he's already married. His wife might see him a little different. Now it's like, man, what's wrong with you now? You a weak
not-
man
you're not
now.
alpha no more.
It's like, yeah, you're not the man I married. Now you're a weak man. I don't know if I want you. Now, boom, divorce.
See, and that's a whole nother thing right there.
Dick game trash.
Yeah, because
Now y'all were talking about holding in the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're the man.
Right.
You got to keep it in.
Right.
And then you said if you feel like you express your discrepancies, whether it was in your life or something going on with you to your wife, she may look at you as weak.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a lie when women say they like a guy with that emotional side that expresses himself?
I wouldn't say that, just because if you start off the relationship being like that, and she knows you like that, then I mean, there's areas for growth there, I guess.
She knows you have a soft side already.
Yeah, but do you think if you keep expressing that soft side, it's like he a little too soft. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, he a weenie.
Yeah, do you think that could change her view of you?
Grow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like-
Well, there's a sense of, I feel like in all men, and this is just my opinion, in all men there has to be like a sense of strength and masculinity that there should be. You feel me?
I mean, to be honest with you, my dad been hard body my whole life though.
Yeah, mine too. My dad too. I ain't never seen my dad smile or cry.
I seen him cry at a funeral. That's it.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen him come home and just tear up.
Yeah, nah. It's always
This ain't
you cut
going
the yard
my way.
yet? You wash the dishes yet? You
I love
you
you
clean
too,
your
Dad.
room yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
thug.
like no sir. Okay.
He's out here
That's it.
thugging.
That's topic of conversation.
Yeah.
To this day, it's still business. He's like, you sell that piece of land yet? I'm like, no, yeah, almost.
Like, can I get a hug right quick?
yeah. There
Hey,
was
back
no
up.
emotional.
I miss you.
Big
Yeah,
man,
that
back up.
emotion. But fuck. I mean, yeah.
You have to hug. You say, what the fuck?
Weirdo.
What's wrong with you? You in love with men now?
But now, my mom made up for a lot of that though. My mom was real like affectionate, and she hugged me a lot, and,
Made
all
you
that.
soft.
So I guess I got the best of both worlds, I guess you could say, But what do you think?
I really think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
So you touched on a couple of things there, and again, perspective. Women say one thing and mean something else.
Hey, trust her actions and not her words. Is that what it is? Salute.
Yeah, let's
Salute to her actions and not her words.
exactly.
Shout out.
Exactly.
Okay. So perspective. Go ahead.
Bro, if he is about his mouth, he might put hands on us.
Oh yeah. They like this.
They like this.
They like this.
I'm a little wild.
Listen, let's just do it. We're gonna do a short. We're gonna tear off that just for 1 second. Show us the gift that Javal gave us, Caleb. We're sorry.
Let's check it out, bro.
Now that I got
Do you
some
want the
respect.
applause?
Yeah. Push the other one too. All of them.
Let's just interrupt the flow of the conversation for a trinket. Let's see. Oh,
Pass it down. Pass it down. Pass it down. Pass it down.
what's your mom's name?
Podcast.
Wow.
I'm gonna say thank you. What's her name?
Nah, he want to link up with her. Let's go. Hey,
What's her name?
Angela hit up my boy Chris.
We coming from the mamas.
Chris.
No,
We coming
that's
from
her
the
name.
mamas.
That's her name.
Is it?
Damn, what's her mom's name?
Angela.
Angela, thank you so much for these gifts.
Hit him up.
It means a lot because she didn't have to do that. So she took time out of her day to help
There
us
you
out.
go. There
Thank
you
you
go.
so
Thank
much.
you, Angela.
We're
Now that-
grateful and we
also-
appreciate you.
But now that we don't give a fuck about my mom no more.
Whoa,
bro.
Joe, what was you talking
You're gonna
about?
fight yourself, Caleb.
Nah.
Gonna go over there and go to over after his own song. Now you said, I've always somewhat. Old people always told me. Sometimes they'll give me game. Usually it's a lie, and they don't do what they say. But it was always older men telling me trust her actions and not her words. Is that true? You think?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because women are emotional creatures.
Yes, sir.
So they make their decisions or base their decisions on emotions. If you listen to them talk, it's well, I felt this way, or this is how he made me feel, or this is how she made me feel, and they'll make decisions with their emotions. We're completely illogical. There's no rhyme or reason to why and how they make those decisions because emotions are just that. They're emotions.
Exactly.
That's all that they are. And so, as men, as manly men,
There you go. There you go.
As manly men,
Machismo.
yeah,
Whoa.
you have to put your emotions in check, because anyone can get frustrated, they can get angered,
Right, right.
and then you make a decision based on that, and it's not the right decision.
Exactly.
So and so with that being said, everything we do in life creates ripples. We don't know how those ripples are going to affect the people around us. So that's another thing that a man has to keep in check. That's very, very different from what a woman does.
Right.
A woman, she's queen of the roost. When a relationship starts out with a woman, it's the man that's being hunted. She's catering to the man. She's complimenting, baby, you've been working out.
Yeah. She's making you feel good.
Man, your head's getting big, and she's building you up.
Just so she could tear you down.
And then once the relationship is solidified, guess what?
Get it off your chest, man.
The tables flip.
Oh, the bait and switch.
Now, guess what? She's driving the nice car, and you're driving her clapped out Nissan Sentra from '92, and she's driving your nice car.
There you go.
And you're buying things for her. You're asking her for permission for your own time. Hey, can I go hang out with the boys? Hey, And so you're like, well, wait a minute. I was the one in charge. She was coming after me. And then now, baby,
This happens, people. This happens.
It happens all the time. Yes.
Well,
I'm looking at you. It does. It happens.
no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Ram.
But it's a generalization. It's people observing.
Right.
The guys I work with, they come back in and they tell me about their home life, and I'm the whole time
Joe laughs his ass off.
I'm like, man, I've been there, so I know where they're at. But they are delicate creatures when they want to be. But like the old saying goes, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. Yeah, and then that's very true. The whole thing, even communicating, talking, predates history. It goes back to caveman times when that caveman wanted to rap to some young cave woman,
Right.
And the only one she was holding out for was the most intelligent, and so that we started working on our game back then, so we could entice them, we could capture them, we could have babies with them, and they could be ours. So this has been a song and dance dating back to primitive man that still is today. But so you got to be careful out there, because then what
Do you think they know that, or is it more of instinct?
What you mean?
That they can accomplish that they can accomplish.
It's in there.
So instinct.
We animals.
You think it's more instinct?
Yeah, I think it's pre-programmed. I think they also watch their moms do it to their dads. So growing up, the girls
That
know
cycle just keep.
exactly right.
Psycho. Yeah.
Yeah.
That cycle.
Psycho.
But that's the relationship part of it, and that's where hopefully, as a man, you pick the right woman for you that's going to complement you. When you come to the table with a woman, it needs to be 50-50, or as close to 50-50.
Right.
Not 100.
Well, that's just it, though. Then somebody runs away with the table, and you just sit there.
Yeah, I miss you.
Yeah, exactly. You're listening to Boys to Men, and and she's out there, running through your homeboys,
Exactly. We don't want that.
Yeah, just to get back at you.
You and your Toyota Tercel with the pistol in your mouth, thinking about it. Playing Return to the Bag.
So when you do pick your woman, it needs to be from the heart, and you have to put a lot of thought into it, because they will give you red flags. We all give red flags.
Yeah,
on both sides, and so that way, when you do decide to invest emotionally and everything, that you're not overexposing yourself with someone that's just going to smash and grab your heart,
right?
Because that's what happens. And so, yeah.
Cut
There
ties.
you go.
Take 50.
There you
What's
go.
Question of the day.
The question of the day. Who got it? You got
I got it. Since you're talking about that, I got a question for you. What are the most dangerous 3 words your wife could tell you?
Most dangerous
3
3
words.
words.
Whoa.
I'd probably say, can it be 2?
He was better.
Oh, he was bigger.
Oh,
That'll crush me.
Oh yeah.
no, that's genetics. That's not my fault though.
Well, if it's your wife and she comes to you and says, "I have STDs,"
That's a red flag.
Well, see, that's
That's
so,
a few red flags.
So that's
a lot of them.
That's a Glock.
Yeah, exactly.
Block forward.
But that's your whole world crushing in, especially if you were again invested. If she was just somebody you married because you didn't have anything else to do, and,
Right.
And so again, it's the level of investment. If you're really invested in somebody, it's gonna hurt more. But if you're in it and it's nothing, somebody that's just there to fill time,
right.
Then it's not gonna bother
You got to invest in assets, not liabilities.
And ass.
assets. Yeah.
Yeah.
That can end up being a liability.
Ass sex.
What about you, Junior? 3 words.
Shit.
hypothetically speaking, if you had a woman
Your wife.
My wife?
Your name is on legal contract.
or man, you know, because
Whoa.
we
It's 2022 and you
yeah,
can
it's
be what you want.
2022.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Get some help.
Come on, bro.
3 words.
3 words?
Or even now, you be in the position you in right now. If a girl came up to you and was like, just told you 3 words that could, what was it?
Oh, you being messy.
3 words.
Just bring your world crashing down. Your wife tell you that.
It's yours.
Well,
It's not.
that would probably hurt more.
Yeah, that would
It's
hurt
not
a
yours.
lot.
It's not yours. I don't know. It depends on the level
It
of
de-
investment.
man, that actually
level
happened
of
to-
investment.
That actually happened to somebody that I know.
That happens to a lot of people. Nobody talk about that.
Yeah, nobody, hey,
Nobody
you
talk
ain't
about
gonna talk about that.
Shout out,
Man, that's a tough one too.
My fam, you and old girl still together? I thought she was pregnant. It's like,
Yeah, no.
You?
me?
Well, yeah, what
But I
3
said
words?
He was better.
He was better.
He was better. He was bigger. Yeah, that was
What
pressure.
you? It's not yours?
Probably.
I was thinking I'm not happy.
Yeah, that hurts.
I think that would be it.
I say let's
I
go
think
Chuck E.
that's
Cheese then. I don't know.
I think hear your wife say that, you know it's probably gonna end.
Yeah.
Hear her say I'm not happy.
Right.
I think that might be.
Yeah, because how do you fix that?
Yeah, how do you fix that?
Yeah, how do you fix that? That's perplexing. It can be a catch-22 because
Yeah.
you could be trying your hardest, your damnedest to keep her happy or make her happy, and it just not.
And she don't even know why she's not happy. She's just not.
She's not entertained.
I'm just
And
not, I'm not happy.
if that's the case, it's game over.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fix.
You know? You can't fix it.
Because you don't know what aspect of her life she's unhappy in. She just said I'm not happy.
And you know, women, they don't. They
want you to figure it out.
amazed. Amazed.
they got multiple personalities.
Look, you're gonna say something, they're gonna be like, "Yep, that's it. That's what I was mad about."
Do you think when you're dealing with a lady long term, well, a wife, do you think it's more so what have you done for me lately and not what you did in the past?
It's a culture thing, and not a race culture thing. I think it's a young people thing.
Yeah.
I think young ladies today are being groomed to get as much as like a money grab, get as much out of a guy. They measure how much a guy loves them by how much they're willing to spend on them. You know, those weekend trips to Dallas, to Louis Vuitton. You know, look, girl, he bought me not only the purse, but then the matching grab bag and the key holder
Yep.
for that 92 Torcel. You know, the
Come on.
the
Come on.
purse and accessories, you know, cost more than the car. But I think today women are misguided into thinking that because he spends a lot of money, that shows the amount of interest or love that you know he's putting out.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
what's really hard to quantify is whenever you got a flat tire or something that takes effort, something that's going to get him up off from after he's worked all day long, and he's going to get up and he's going to go and make sure you're okay, because that's the one thing that a woman will know is if she's the only one in your life. And if you give her all of your attention and all of your effort, she will know that.
There you go.
But if you miss a call or two, or if you miss a text or two, first thing she's going to think of is, I'm not number one. I'm a side chick or a side thing. He's got somebody else. So you always have to be on point.
Do you think, so I was talking to somebody about this, do you think women have competition anxiety?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you mean? In what sense?
Let's say you deal with a chick. I'm not talking about cheating on your wife. I just mean, you know, you
Like,
get
you-
involved.
are you single?
No, yeah, I'm saying like you just ain't your wife. Like you just getting involved with a girl, okay? She knows you has options. Do you think she'll work harder to attract your attention and attain it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If she know you
for
have,
sure.
if she know you have options, as opposed to you being the only loser, like this is all you got, and she know it's all you got. So you coming at her from a deficit,
Yeah.
So she don't treat you the best, as opposed to her knowing you have, you know, they say, oh, you got hoes, but for some reason, the women that say that always still be with the dude. So I'm just wondering, do they have some sort of competition anxiety?
I think because I've had conversations with girlfriends
Right.
that and this is something that girls do today. Again, a different culture. Will drive out to go see a guy.
Yeah.
They'll drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go be with a guy that they just spotted on Tinder.
Must be
and,
nice.
You know, and then it's the same woman that posted on Facebook, waiting for God to put a man in front of me. I'm like, well, God isn't using Tinder to put a man in front of you. But
That's the devil.
Yeah, exactly. But they'll drive out there, and the guy's mentality is, it's like pizza getting delivered to the house.
Exactly.
Bringing it to me. It's like Little Caesars hot and ready. It's only $5.
Shout out.
So what happens? So what happens is the woman places a value on herself, and so then the man either picks up that value or he drops that value. I had a buddy of mine that would only date ugly girls. You know why?
They work hard.
They were easy and they work hard. It was easy on his. That's it. Yeah.
What? That's a cheat code.
It's a cheat
That's
code.
a cheat code.
Exactly.
We going to San Antonio to get some gorditas.
Okay, so San Antonio, the single census in San Antonio is 7 single females to every 1 single guy.
Come on.
7. So when you were talking about competing, now East Texas is a different thing. But
That sucks.
But I know in San Antonio, when you got 7 females competing for 1 guy, think about what, let's just say, half of those women are willing to do to get a relationship with that guy.
Right.
He's over there like, well, Becky's willing to do this on the first date. What you got? Woo! And so then next thing you know, these women are driving themselves crazy because they're competing with these other women. They
Just
don't-
trying to keep up.
just trying to keep up. And what happens is, instead of working together, they keep bringing each other down because they keep lowering the bar. They just keep getting nastier.
What's wrong with that?
If you're looking for a relationship,
Right,
If if we're talking about wifeys, then yeah, no, that's not good. But if you're looking for, you want to put a harem together, and you want to start an OnlyFans stable,
Come on.
then that's that's the way to do it. But in the end, so this is something my mom, going back to mom's.
Right.
When I was 14, 15 years old, she knew I was getting to that time where I'm going to start, having sex. And she told me, very, very polar opposite from my brother who was just slaying hoochies. But she came to me and she said, every time you share your body with someone or you're intimate with someone, you give a piece of yourself to them. And if you give your body to all these people, what do you keep for yourself? So in a sense, you devalue yourself by spreading yourself around.
That's deep.
Yeah,
That's deep.
And then so I always kept that. So I would always evaluate these girls and like, would I be willing to expose myself? Because in this day and time, STDs. Louisiana, just 45 minutes away, is the capital of the United States for STDs.
CD.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
HIV city.
Yeah, exactly. And then
fuck?
we would run over to the boats all the time, and I'm over at Larry Flint's, just shit, it's going from a light drizzle to a heavy rain.
Yeah, man. Thunderstorming.
Yeah, I don't know how many apartments I paid for, how many PlayStations I bought for single moms. How many?
It was a charity event.
We taking care of people. Yeah. We running a charity.
I'm thinking, I'm blessed. Why not? Give a little bit.
Yeah. Go buy your kid a sweater.
More Santa Claus out here, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the relationship part of it is difficult to navigate.
Right.
Because what
right.
happens is, and this is a big deal, we can sell ourselves on our own bullshit. We can tell ourselves, this is what I want. I'm okay with this. I'm good with this. But then you get balls deep in a relationship, and then you're like, wait a minute, how did this happen?
Yeah.
This isn't what I wanted, or this isn't what I thought
I'm being
I wanted.
controlled now.
Right. So then how do you backtrack? You done met the parents, and they're calling you mijo,
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
and
They love you.
Yeah, exactly. They love you, and God forbid you don't get her pregnant, because then you got cement shoes on. Then you can't run away.
Says who? I'm out.
I'm out.
Deuces.
Hey, vaya con Dios. I'm out. I don't know what to tell you.
You're like, it's not mine.
So you.
Yeah.
So, do you think some men will put up with a toxic lady because they don't have any other options, and she knows he don't, so she just keep treating him bad? He put up with it.
For sure.
Yes,
You
bro.
think
for
so?
sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know he not going nowhere. I know he don't got a spine,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna change my behavior because
Right.
I know he not going nowhere.
Right. So, okay. So we're all creatures of patterns. We all do. We all exhibit those. And the problem is that if you got an attentive partner and they study those patterns, like a boxer studies another boxer,
Right.
Then you can start not only to manipulate, but you can start to anticipate certain decision making. So, and then you start to realize what buttons to push to get what you want. So again, we're going back to chess and checkers. One person's playing checkers, another one playing chess. And so, and it's usually one or the other. Now, women are a lot smarter than us. You know, men, the old adage was, feed me, fuck me, and shut up.
I mean, that's true though.
Yeah, but then women will sit there and they will snapshot an argument
For nothing.
or something that you said that didn't quite make sense, and they'll memorize what you got on, when you said it, how you said it, and then they will throw it right back in your face later on. Although they'll have these imaginary arguments until the big argument comes up, and
they're ready.
and you're like,
yeah.
It's their day in court. They've
the
been
receipts.
practicing.
Right. You can't bob and weave your way out of it. But so they are better equipped at that. We represent strength and power. They represent finesse. They represent strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're Game of Thrones. You know.
Even though it was just a funny movie, that said a lot about how women behave and how they work and strategize. Y'all remember John Tucker Must Die?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was real. Watching it now as an adult, it's scary.
Yes.
Because we were all watching it as kids, all laughing, but meanwhile, girls
They
were
really
watching,
trying to
taking
set him
notes.
up.
Yeah, girls was taking notes watching that.
Notepad out and all. Right here.
You know, and they brought him down. Not really, but yes, really. Yeah. So you said they got a photographic memory when it comes down to an argument.
Yes.
But they can't remember your mama's birthday.
They don't want to remember.
They don't like her.
They don't want. Well, women want to compete. The maddest I ever made my wife when I was married, I was sick, laying in bed, and she was, she was the best. So she comes over to check on me, and the last thing she said before she walked out of the bedroom, and I was, again feeling sick,
Right.
flu or something. She says, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And I looked up jokingly. I said, "Could you bring me my phone? I want to call my mom." And just
She didn't have it.
And she slammed the door, and she was pissed off at me for 2 or 3 days.
Joe's in there dying.
Yeah, exactly. But women understand that they compete, against the mom as far as taking care of their man.
Right.
See, and that's the funny thing about Hispanic culture. Women or mothers baby their boys, but are hard on their Hispanic daughters.
Right. Exactly.
Fathers are hard on their boys, but baby the Hispanic daughter. So it's a role reversal, which carries on into adulthood. So what happens is and my brother's the baby. My mom, I shit you not, my brother's in his 40s, and she would wipe his ass if he had to. That's how baby he is, and that's how moms are. They need to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but what happens is the boys grow up, they're not looking for a wife all the time. They want a mom replacement.
Yep.
So then that's where the woman comes in, and she's like, "No, I don't want to be your mom replacement. I don't want to be in the kitchen, at 4 a.m. making you lunch and breakfast. That's your mom." She goes, "You didn't marry me for my cooking abilities.
Right.
You married me for this."
Exactly.
And so it's a completely different role reversal in what men want and what they actually get. And so again, that's where we sell ourselves on it. We can tell ourselves, yeah, we're good with this. This is what I want, and it may not be. And you may spend years in a bad relationship thinking like, well, we're going to turn a corner. It's going to get better.
No.
No, it's not.
Hey, you know what? Let's throw some kids in.
You're kidding yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. The next thing you know, and you see these guys. You see them at Walmart. Just go to Walmart. These guys pushing a cart just look like death.
Yep.
And then
Hate themselves.
They,
Yeah, exactly.
They cooking for themselves. They cleaning for themselves. All of it.
She on the iPad on the couch texting her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah. She chilling. She
Like,
chilling.
she texting her boyfriend on the iPad.
On the Wi-Fi. She ain't paying.
On the Wi-Fi, she not paying
She
for
not
it.
paying.
yeah, exactly. Fuck.
He working the night shift tonight. He be going in a minute. Come through.
Right, exactly. She's on the sofa calling the shots. She's a quarterback on the sofa. He's out there
He the mule.
working 2 jobs to keep her in some nice things, and she's over there just swinging a leg for anybody.
Exactly.
But she loves me for me. That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she said. So if I'm in an argument with a chick, right, which probably won't happen because I'm a loser, but if I'm in an argument with a chick and I know I'm going to lose the argument because they better at it than us.
You just hit them.
I don't like to. So I know what type of time you be on in your house. But
Wins every argument.
Hit him with that RKO.
She wakes up.
I'm just saying you get an argument with her. I know she go win, but I have a hard time losing, and when I lose, I go to a dark place. So what if I told her? What do you think would happen if I lost the argument and I told her? You know? I see why bitches be laughing at you.
Oh my God!
And I just walk.
That comparison.
What you think? What you think?
That comparison is game over.
That's all?
yeah.
Okay.
You know how little she gonna feel?
Okay, I'm glad. Cause you hurt my feelings, so I'm trying to destroy you.
Yeah, she's here too.
Cause I got to take. Maybe that's my mom's side of the family. I don't know, but I just know because I've been in an argument with a chick before, and it was unnecessary. We don't even talk to each other no more. But in that moment, it hurt. And I didn't just want to say, all right, whatever you want. I'm like, nah, I'm going to run this back because I got to keep going until I win. And that may be we don't talk no more. But do you think it's better to take the high road when you get into an argument with a lady? Because I will never take the high road, but I'm just wondering, is that a good thing to do if you get in an argument with your chick?
Well, I think in general it's better to take the high road. But
Fuck her.
I mean, yeah, if you coming from like morality, you know, it's always better to take the high road.
But like you said, you know they can push that button and it take you to that place.
Now, if you arguing with your girl and you say that, like I see why they
be laughing at you.
Fam,
That's tough. That's tough.
100 different scenarios going through her head.
Yeah.
But yeah, who is they?
And see, here's the thing that women, if they get the impression that you're not that into them or that you're not that invested, they want to know why. It is a
They'll keep fucking you too.
it's a mechanism that they have. They want your approval. They seek your approval. So if you give them too much attention, then they know that they won and they lose that attention for you.
Right.
But if they don't know if they got you on lockdown or not, that keeps them entertained. It keeps them enticed. It keeps them interested. Last thing, you can do anything you want to a woman, but you can't bore them. If they're bored, they're out.
At the door.
Out the door. So, yep. So that you can't do that. So what happens is
That's why you gotta try different positions, different.
I'm working 12 to keep you in your Tahoe. I can't be doing all that.
What are we doing? I'm a minute 15 in, and that's all you're getting from me.
Oh man, I'm tired.
and that's the catch-22 with most women. They want nice things, but it takes long hours to get them nice things.
Yeah.
And their main complaint is, well, you're never here. And you're like, how the fuck is all
How am I supposed to do both, woman? How am I supposed to do both?
And then she's hooking up with the guy down the street that ain't got a job because he's at home 24/7.
Yeah.
But he has time.
He has time, and he sees you pull out of that driveway.
He come right back in.
Yep, swoops right on in there. Bed's still warm.
In his grandma Roadmaster. I'm coming to you. I want to start a family. I want to have a kid. I want a wife. And I'm coming to you for mentorship because you're an older guy. You done been around. What would you tell me to look for in a woman if I want to be with her long term and have something with her? What should I look for?
So, like, you talking about one specific quality?
Well, just a few. Like you talk about how your daughter made the list. What type of list should I write when I'm looking for a good woman to start a family with?
So that presents duality. Reason being because expectations.
Yes.
If you put expectations out there and your expectations aren't met, you're going to be disappointed. There is no perfect woman, just like there is no perfect guy. I knew a guy that was dating 3 different women because he liked qualities in 3 different women. So his idea was, well, I'm dating the perfect woman. They just happen to be 3 different women.
Whoa.
But then that's not realistic. You know, so he liked one because she was smart, she was a bookworm, and he loved being around her because of her intelligence.
Right.
Another one he liked going to clubs and getting fucked up with because, you know, she liked to party. And so again, he couldn't decide, and he came to me with a very similar question. And knowing him and knowing these women firsthand, It's just not realistic.
Right. Well, I mean, that polygamy's getting pretty big too.
Yes.
You know, so maybe they might like each other. You know,
Hey,
and something can happen. Then,
That's the perfect
mean,
scenario. You find 3 women and you make them meet, and they're like, "Oh, I love her."
Is it? Do you think that's possible? Loving more than one person, like in an intimate and
I think so. I think
You think so?
I think so because it's modern society that dictates one man, one woman. But if you go back, even in biblical times,
right.
King Solomon.
Yeah, King Solomon had 1,000 wives. 1,000. You talking about trying to juggle 2 or 3 or 7 in San Antonio? 1,000 wives. Yeah, yeah. So, but with relationships, it's that whole getting to know someone, and one of the qualities that I would look for, is honesty.
Honesty.
The thing is that, so whenever you're dating someone for the first time meeting, it's like you're on a job interview. Mm-hmm. She or he's bringing their best game to the table. Mm-hmm. It's not until after you're in a relationship when you start thinking about that first conversation where they're telling you they're driven,
Right.
You know, and then you're like, and we all do that. It's human nature to express or project the person we want to be.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of things I want to be in my life, but I haven't made the effort to accomplish those things. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that I don't one day want to, but there's no way I speak 4 languages. But you get people on a job application or a guy or a girl that inflates or exaggerates what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So again, and really truthfully, the only way you get to know someone is through adversity. Mm-hmm. If they're having a hard time with something. That's when you get to meet the real person. If it's financial, if it's family drama, if someone just died, they're not looking to cover up flaws in their personality. That is the raw person that you'll be dealing with.
Exactly.
Whenever you're in a relationship with them 20 years down the road. And not that it's unfair to put someone under a microscope, but sometimes you feel like you have to.
Yep.
Because with social media, young people today are being trained to project these qualities that has nothing to do with them. That's not your car. You don't live in that house.
Yep.
Those aren't your clothes. But people will project that because they want to project the very best of themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're honest about it. And then honesty, even if it's brutal honesty. I would rather have someone be honest with me in a relationship or in a friendship, a business relationship. It can go, best friends, Someone comes to you and says, man, like I'm growing out my hair and I don't know if I like it or not. And I need somebody to come up and say like, nah, it's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'm at the barbershop tomorrow getting it cut off. But if all your friends are like, no, I can see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Right. And what if you don't listen to your wife? What if you don't? What if you just don't listen?
Well, see, that's just it though. You gotta have.
But my wife tell me I look raggedy as shit, and I'm like, you know what?
You feel good.
So do you. I don't care what you say. But whatever.
But that works to her benefit because if you stepped out of the house looking like a movie star,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Then you're.
I'm doing this for her, really.
Yeah. Then you're on the sidewalk dodging panties.
Yeah. I'm playing Frogger. I'm dodging cars, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing about pussy is, a man can run from it. Mm-hmm. But we just can't run fast enough. It'll eventually catch up to us.
Woo-wee. Don't say that too many times, man. Cause,
it's
my
they come when they come at you, they come at you, and then so again it goes back to that honesty. If you're going to be honest to yourself and honest to the relationship that you're in, she's got nothing to worry about. Neither do you.
I gotcha.
So you think you know how you talk about y'all were selling yourselves when you were first meeting each other on the first date. So do you think the relationship would be a lot of them are built on lies first?
I think they're built on expectations.
Expectations.
Yeah. And women have a lot of expectations. Men do too, but I think women's expectations are a lot. Women like to pick up guys as projects. Yeah, he's got potential. He's got potential. He's got potential, and they'll want to get
nice.
him. Yeah,
Maybe it's
Sometimes.
Maybe it's over exaggerations. Maybe not just bold faced lies.
My dad always told me, Chris, if you're exaggerating, you a lie. Stop being a liar.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like you
lie.
You just pumping your head up.
I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
5'8".
But the thing is, we have to learn to be honest with ourselves. That's where it starts. It's you being in love with yourself, and I don't mean that in a conceited way. It's having that confidence in yourself that you project. It always starts there because another person can't give you the love that you don't have for yourself inside. And women chase love. They'll use sex to get it.
Right.
Men will dangle love in front of them to get sex. So it's a whole psychological merry-go-round. And if you get the cheat codes, you can run through as many women as you want.
Give me them cheat codes right quick.
We're talking about damaged women. We're talking about neglected women.
Single moms. Give me the game.
I tell you what, I worked at a place that had 40 women from ages of 18 up until almost 60.
That's my age right there.
Man, and I tell you what, I came in there and they all looking at me like hungry tigers, and I was a 3-course meal. And
Whoa.
I'd get invited, back to their house for a home cooked meal because they knew I was single.
Right.
Hey, when's the last time you had a home cooked meal? I could make something.
What kind, boy.
They talk about
could eat.
They talking about food they prepared or between their legs.
Well, food they prepared.
Oh, okay.
Both of them.
As an aphrodisiac, moving on
To get you.
But what it taught me was that women inherently are lonely in most relationships. So what happens is they
Shout out.
so they're lonely. The things that they want in a relationship, sometimes their man can't give them. So next thing you know, they start looking around, and it can start out, just a little flirting here, a little flirting there,
Right.
and then it gets the juices flowing, and not that.
Joe, you don't slept with somebody's wife before?
On that note,
Nah, just I wouldn't want to be the center of someone else's drama.
Yeah.
That's why
You don't want that.
No, because then you wind up with shit on your face. Even so even if they present puss is free.
Yeah, it ain't.
It's never free. It always comes with a price tag. You just don't know what you're paying for it when you take the plunge.
yeah,
When you get the bill after.
Woo.
So
and you can never afford it.
You can't. You can't.
The thing
That's
is,
not how that works.
I never knew
6 easy installments.
I never knew how expensive a girlfriend was until I had a wife.
Hey.
Because when you have a girlfriend and you have a wife, the girlfriend is very, very expensive. And I say that jokingly. I did experience that. And then that's, for all my successes, I have failed a lot in life. With those failures, I have learned to recognize that decision making and to learn from that decision making.
Exactly.
So you don't go in and you hit home runs right off. There's a lot of times that you will fail, and if you learn from your failures, you'll be better at making better decisions, keeping your composure.
Yep.
I get offered puss all the time, and they'll knock on the door, literally knocking on the door.
Hey, shout out Puss on Delivery.
And I'll get stories like, well, I was drinking at this club down the road and I didn't want to drive home drunk. Can I stay here with you tonight? And so, and women will bring it. But the thing there is, with a man, puss will cloud the mind. It will cloud your decision
for
making.
sure.
Because then you'll get to where you think you have to have that specific one. And then you get pissed off if you think she's giving it to somebody else. And then you're at work trying to do your job, but then you're thinking about
Where's she at? Where's she at right now?
What's she doing? And then that's what that does is it keeps you off balance. So the self-discipline that we as men have to put in our lives to meet our goals. Because what happens is we could be 40, 50-year-old men still living at home with mom and dad.
Right.
Shout out me.
And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's a happy environment. But if you do really want to get out in the world and cut your way out in the world, there's a lot of self-sacrifice. There's a lot of self-discipline that you have to put out there and put on yourself, along with all the stress of being the father figure and the breadwinner and all that. So
Exactly.
there's quite a bit that goes out there. There's more sacrifices on a man than it is anyone else. For example, if your wife and you work, your wife's job basically is an elective. She gets to pick where she wants to work at.
Yep.
And she can come home and be like, I don't like working there. They're mean
Didn't
to
I
me.
say that?
Yeah.
It's an elective.
Yeah, it's an elective. Yeah, but a hobby if you want to call it that. But the man has to make a certain amount of money to provide a certain lifestyle to keep her around. Because you're only as useful as she deems. So
Right.
say you fall off. Say you go through a rough patch. You lose your job. You start drinking a little bit more. You don't bring home enough money. Man, she will run away.
That's facts.
Shout out Chris.
That's facts.
Shout out Chris.
Didn't I say that? You was trying to make me be quiet.
Word for word.
I said that. I said that. If you
Word
can't,
for word.
because as a man, if you can't be used, you're useless.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why I wanted to ask you everything you just said. Do you think love is real?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think as humans, I think love transcends space, time. It's this is the fucked up part about it. Shakespeare once said, "Loving someone means you're gonna have to say goodbye one day," and that right there hurts, because anybody that in this life that you encounter, that you invest in, that you truly love,
Right.
either they're gonna die or you're gonna die first. And then you start to wonder, well, what's the point of it all? Well, what's all of this investment, and why? So in life, we have a lot of ups and downs, and it's more downs than ups. But it gives you a glimpse of true happiness. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys play golf. I don't, but I've tried it a few times. And when you've got a really nice $300-400 driver and you hit the ball and you connect and it's perfect, and then the other 100 times you hit that bastard and the ball's going this way and that way, that's what life presents to you. It presents these fleeting moments that you can't hold on to of true love, of acts of kindness that hit home that you are loved and that someone does love you for all of your, fucked up personalities and for, feet that smell like corn chips when you pull your boots.
Yeah.
They overlook all of those things to love you for who you are.
Exactly.
And when you find that's when you need to hold on to it. Everything else is just distractions. That's all that is. So again, goals is important. So the girl with the big booty that distracts you.
That's big child support.
Exactly. It'll pull you down a road that by the time you get to the end of it, all you've done is wasted time, you've wasted energy, you've wasted money.
Yep.
So again,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
What's wrong? He don't miss.
He don't miss.
He don't miss. The only reason I asked you that, because I don't think love is real, and I'm not talking about like your child or your mom, your dad, but and it's probably why I be getting blocked and unmatched on Bumble and Tinder. But I ask, I'm like, how many dudes have you told you love them? That's all. You a weird piece of shit. Bye. But I'm just wondering, because you say you love me, or I say I love you. How many times have I said that up until I met you to different women? And how many times are you gonna say that after we done?
It don't even count no more.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't even mean anything, So, and I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, oh, I don't want to be with nobody because these hoes don't love me. I'm just saying we throw that word around a lot, and I don't think it's real, because we good now. It's plenty of people that's been divorced 20 years, but at one point in time, you were the reason why I breathed. I love you. Yeah. But now
it's a level of
I'm on marriage number 4 now, and she loves me for me. So, when I say that, it always starts an argument. When I say, oh, love isn't real, then that's when I see the hopeless romantic side come out of women. And then that's when I ask them, well, you believe in this love so much, why are you on this app? Then we get blocked or whatever. She hope I die. It is what it is. But I don't know. I guess that's just me being a little too analytical of the situation. But I just always wonder that when they say that, I love you. And you said this before. You've been married once.
Right. So, and again, it goes back to communication and words. You can't have love without sacrifice. And people today don't know how to sacrifice.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. And what all this, life today, where we live in this time, is more comfort than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go back and then I'm going to go off, but I'll circle back around to why I'm saying this. You go back 100, 150 years. Everything here that's not you is trying to kill you. Disease, marauders, Indians, cannibalistic Indians down on the coast of Texas. So we're here trying to live. So every day, every hour might be your last. So everything you do for your family at that time is nothing but love.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today. Self-love. We're more interested in our comfort. Well, if it's women at 72 degrees on the thermostat or 70 degrees and they're uncomfortable, they can lose their shit over 2 degrees. So where's the sacrifice there? They're just a little bit uncomfortable. So do you think that their perception or their definition of love is the same as those people back then? So those people, when they got married to someone, most of the time they were married till death.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they make game shows out of being married to somebody.
Yeah.
So what happens is they have really cheapened that whole institution of marriage and of love. So
Exactly.
trying to find true love here, what you have to do is you have to find someone that is selfless. They sacrifice. What you need to do, or what I would encourage you to do, and you don't need to do anything, but what I would encourage you to do is to go to outreach programs, Habitat for Humanity, some of the places where people donate their time. Because then that's where you're going to find people that sacrifice their time for someone else's benefit.
So not the club in Dallas.
Not the club.
No, not the. So you got.
Damn it.
Not in 2001.
No.
Not 2001 or 2009. God damn.
Cancel the trip.
But if you're buying love, that's the best place to buy it.
Yes, sir.
But you've got two kinds of people in this world: those that help others, and those that help themselves. So if you want someone that's gonna be like you in that lines, you need to find someone that's helping others.
So I need to find the woman that's handing out turkeys to toothless crackheads.
Shout out.
But no, she bought the turkeys. Not some company and said, here's a pile of turkeys.
There you go. There you
need
go.
to find a woman that goes to the store and she hand picks out the turkeys that she's gonna give out.
Beautiful.
Again, that's a level of investment.
All right, Chris. And with that one,
We gonna check out on that one?
we got to check out.
Hey, as always, it was a blessing for us to be
As
here.
always.
It was a blessing for y'all to be here with us. Hey, thank you so much for coming.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
We need to get more older men on here because I learned a lot from older men.
There you go.
Like to not buy a starter home, just buy a home and stay in it. Hey, it was a blessing for us to be here. It was a blessing for y'all to be here with us. It was so nice I had to say it twice.
Twice.
Be good to yourselves, make good choices, and just go out there and live your life and enjoy it and love it. Peace.
There you go.
Peace.
Peace.